Anyway, this is the last live lunch. Thank you so much if you've joined me every week or even watched it on replay. Today, for the last one, I thought I'd just talk a little bit about my top tips for wearing print, because I was asked on a Zoom call a couple of days ago about, you know, how to wear pattern and print, and if there's any ways that you can use it to flatter your assets or even streamline. So I'm going to share with you a few top tips with you now, just the basics, so you can get a clear understanding about how to wear pattern and print. Okay, so the first thing is really with regards to contrast. So we use colour analysis to find out your natural colouring with regards to your hair, skin and your eyes. And contrast comes into that with regards to what sort of colours and the quality of colours that you can wear to flatter your natural looks. So for me, for instance, you can see that my skin, my hair and my eyes are quite low contrast. If I had really dark hair and quite pale skin and bright eyes, that would be a high contrast. So my colouring is quite low contrast. So with regards to wearing pattern, for me, it's more flattering to wear colours that aren't too highly contrasted. The most highly contrasted colour would be, well, they're not colours, but they're tones, black and white. So they need to be more subtle when it comes to my colouring. So I go for colours that are similar in colour families. There is a contrast, but it's not really, really high. I do have a few prints that are quite high contrast. So for instance, this spot, it's not black and white, but it's more of a soft blue and a white. And I can still wear this, even though you know, it's a bit high contrast, because of the print. So the other thing with prints to look for as well is if the base colour is one of your natural neutrals, and it's as dark as you can go. I can't go really dark. I can't wear black and really dark matte colours because I'm quite pale. So this sort of blue would be a good base. So for patterns, I tend to look for if I want a darker base, I look for something that's in my colour swatch. And I also look for the kind of pattern, because I don't know if you're aware, but if you wear dense prints, as in there's less space between the pattern, it's actually more flattering. Because when we in image consultancy, it's all about lines. So what we would like to do in order to optically streamline your body shape, or even make you look taller or whatever, is to reduce the amount of natural breaks in your outfit. So if you wear just one colour, that's a good example of where your eyes wouldn't stop. They'd go top to bottom. So if you wore one colour dress and shoes in a similar colour, your eyes wouldn't stop, it'd go straight up and down, which lengthens you and also creates a nice silhouette. So if you are quite petite build to medium build, you want to look for dense prints like these ones here, or with this, that are quite compact, okay? Because if you were to wear massive prints and you're quite petite, it would totally drench you, and it will also look like you're wearing a lot more fabric than what you actually are. Okay, so the tip is with prints is to keep your contrast in keeping with your natural look, and also to keep an eye on the pattern itself. So if it's a dense pattern like this one and these ones, they're quite clustered together, they create a streamlining effect, which makes you look a lot neater and more streamlined. If you are a fuller bodied lady and you're quite a bit bigger, then I would still go for dense prints, but you can go for a larger print. For example, this one, for example, as you can see, the print is larger. Okay, I've got these over my chest here, so that minimises my full chest if I feel a bit self-conscious or for whatever reason. But they are still quite close together, Okay, so when you wear prints that are quite large and quite sparse, so then this is the negative background here, which is the space between. Be very careful where the large flowers in this case sit, because they will create a focal point. Okay, so it's the best thing to do is when you put them on is if you shut your eyes and open your eyes, you can see where your eyes draw to. Because if you've got a flower, say for instance, and it's sitting on one boob, or you've got another flower sitting on your tummy, and the areas that you feel conscious about, they will draw focus. Okay, so prints can camouflage, but they can also create focus if there's a lot of negative this is called a negative background, negative space, because it's the gap between the prints. Okay, so these will still be flattering because it's a larger print if you're a fuller bodied lady, but providing the background is, you know, darkish, and the print is where it needs to be and the contrasts aren't too high. Remember, because I can't wear high contrast particularly, but this is quite medium contrast because we've got bright and then different colours in between that are similar. Okay, so prints can certainly be your friend. So contrast is a good thing to think about. Animal prints are great neutrals. This is a snake print, which works wonderfully for me because I'm quite, you know, quite pale. But as a print, it actually works really well on most people. Again, think about your scale. So you can go larger scale if you need an area to look smaller, or you can stick to the smaller scale if you want to create focus in a certain area. So as you can see, I use animal prints quite a lot because they're a great pattern and they act as a neutral. So you can always wear these with jeans or a colour block skirt or trousers, and you can add colour to them quite easily. I'm still here. The other thing, I'm still here, sorry about that. The other thing with print is think about scale. So I have a skirt here. So this, it's a pencil skirt, as you can see, but there's two scales of pattern. We have a smaller one on the outside and a bigger one on the inside. And what that does is when you wear it, this here optically, this is the bit that's seen. Your eyes optically miss this bit and it creates a line. So what actually that does is create a streamlined silhouette on the hips. You can get it in dresses with colour blocks and things like that. And you know, the colour and the shape and where the colour's put, the darker ones on the outside create the silhouette, the lighter ones in the middle create the focus. So you can do it with different size prints like that. So that's a good way if you feel that, you know, if you're quite a pear-shaped or you feel a bit hippie but want to wear a pencil skirt, then see if you can find prints that have smaller on the outside and larger in the inside, and that will work on just about most items. So the other thing is, I like spots, as you can tell, but you can buy outfits or garments that have focal points with just pattern, and these are really good go-tos because you don't have to bother about what necklaces you're going to wear, because the focus and the pattern is already happening on the top. Now, collars are massive this year, right through until, you know, winter for the party season. So I've invested in quite a few of these sorts of things that come with these. So it's integrated into the outfit. I've got ones with diamante collars and things like that, so it looks like you're layering, but actual fact, it's just a thin jumper. You can also buy on Etsy and eBay and places like that. You can buy these and put them over the top of a plain top, a plain jumper. You can literally buy collars. Do you know what I mean? And they just press stud at the back, or they have a hook and eye, and that easily updates a denim shirt, a jumper, crew neck jumper, a long sleeve top. So they're a really good idea. If you don't want to buy, you know, new tops, just buy the collars. Okay, have a look on Etsy, and you will also be really helping somebody that makes them, you know, so it's sharing the love, as it were. Okay, the other thing I just want to talk about is lines. Okay, so lines, like I've said to you before, as well as scale, are quite important in image consultancy, because again, we want the eyes to go up and down, not left and right, because as soon as they go left and right, They optically widen an area and create focus. So the lady that was asking me the other day about patterns, she was on about stripes, and she said, oh, you're not really supposed to wear horizontal stripes, are you? And I said, well, yes, you can, because yes, they go left and right and they can widen you, but it does depend on the stripe, and it depends on the thickness, the contrast of the colours, and also the fabric. Okay, and a way that you can get away with it is, so I have a jumper here, and the trick is to look for diagonals, because diagonals trick your eyes, okay? Because they're not going straight across, they're going that way, so they create like a point. So some checks do it, you know, if you've got anything with diagonal lines, they actually help streamline and silhouette your shape, okay, rather than the block check that you get like a gingham or something like that. If you find anything on an angle in a pattern, that's good stuff. Even if it's the pattern of the flowers, a neckline. See on here, I've got some crisscrossing going along, and that optically breaks the eye up, and it goes, oh, I can't be bothered to do all that, so it just goes up and down. So it doesn't actually create a break, if you see what I mean, okay? Because your brain fills in the gaps, and that's filling the gaps, and it gets lazy. So that's why diagonals and crosses optically don't break the line, if you see what I mean. So they're quite cunning to use as well. So you can look for diagonals, okay? So I don't have any horizontal stripes, but what I would say is, if you're quite petite, then you need to keep the stripe petite, okay? Think about your colouring as well. So if you want a high contrast because you've got dark hair, bright eyes, pale skin, that sort of thing, then you can have a Breton, okay? If you're quite pale like me, I'd have to keep it quite soft, okay? So I tend to use more vertical stripes just because I love vertical stripes. This is actually a soft pink and a navy, because I don't do black and white because it's just too much, whereas this one is a lot better. And yes, vertical stripes, they are streamlining because your eyes are going up and down, remember, which means it streamlines where you want it to. So this is great for that sort of thing. So you can wear stripes. So think about diagonal, think about vertical, and you can wear horizontal. If you like a Breton, what you need to do, if you're a bit conscious, is make sure your outer layer, that could be a blazer, a cardigan, denim jacket, is a solid colour, okay? Because the solid colour with the pattern in the middle, eyes go up and down, and it's happy with that, and it creates a nice shape as well. So a nice boyfriend blazer with like a Breton striped shirt underneath, you know, if it's like a soft navy and a white, it'll work perfectly well. So you can wear patterns on the inside with black block colour on the outside, okay? Last thing, but you can feel free to put up anything in the comments. Hi everybody, hi Sally Ann, hi Amanda, hi Arlette, thank you for watching, hi Vic. The last thing to also remember is, if you like, because it's summer, if you like a caftan sort of print, this is a short sort of throw on, which I put over a vest, yeah, with that sort of thing. These are great for summer anyway, and you can really show your personality in a print and really break the rules a little bit, because they're normally quite floaty, okay? And you tend to wear them over shorts and a vest top, or maybe just a plain long black maxi dress or something more fitted. So you can get away with wearing these with your prints and break a few of the colour rules if you want to, because of the floatiness and the shape. So just be careful what you wear them with. If you are going to go for a really, I mean, this one's quite subdued really. It's quite a large print as well, so you can go for a large print. Just make sure what you wear underneath is neat, and pick out a base colour. I've picked a dark, I go for a soft navy vest with this and denim cut-offs, because it just gives me a bit more confidence. Because if you've got a pattern that's quite busy like that, you want to take the main base colour out of the pattern for underneath, and that will just keep you looking, you know, more together. Even if you just put it on with some denim shorts or some nice block sandals or some white platform trainers, it's you can really go to town on these, and they don't date, and if you go on holiday you can pop them on the beach, you know. So they're a total investment, and you can bring the tropical into your life, you can bring the floral, you can do whatever you like when it comes to those. So please have some fun with pattern, experiment with it and see what works with your body shape, your assets and your personality, because you have to dress in things that make you feel happy, else there's no point putting them on. Okay, so go and have a look in your wardrobe, see what beauties you've got going on, and if you've got any gaps, go on eBay, go and have a look. People are selling things at the moment that they've never worn with tags. I'm buying stuff at the moment for like £6-7, okay, and it's also helping somebody else. You just have to go to the post office, and it, you know, we can support ourselves with just the little things. So see what patterns you've got going, see if you've got any gaps, bring out things like this that you don't wear as much and you just need a plain vest. You can buy plain vests from anywhere and some shorts, okay? So enjoy your pattern, have a wonderful week. I'm now going to go and have a glass of Prosecco to celebrate my wedding anniversary, 18 years. Good grief, don't know how I've done it. And I invite you to have a lovely day, okay? Love your body, wear your happy people. Goodbye.